Dude, I've killed so many guys right now. They just like ran at me and I just shotgunned them as they turned around the corner. This is definitely making it into the video. That was awesome.
Greetings, Earthlings, and welcome. Today, like almost 600,000 other nerds, I'm going to talk about the Battlefield 6 open beta, which ran this past weekend on the 9th and 10th of August, and will also run the following weekend on the 14th and 15th of August, so be sure to get on board while you still can and while it's still free. Now, I'm no spring chicken and have been a fan of the Battlefield franchise since 1942, Vietnam, 2142, but then I skipped all the Modern Warfare ones until Battlefield 1 and Battlefield 5. But I really like Battlefield 1, the World War I one, and its unique kind of vehicles and combat. Before I go any further, I also wanted to summarize what's been happening in my life and why I haven't really posted a video in a few months. First of all, I got a dog. He's just recently lost his balls, so, you know, rip my boy. Also, the world turned upside down with all the literal Nazis and pedos and religious zealots running around. Like, I don't know what kind of idiot you have to be to fall for these scams, but it's really difficult to just passively watch what's going on. And on top of all of that, I'm also, I've been struggling to find consistent work, so making YouTube videos just didn't feel like my main priority.
Oh, get a job? Yeah. Just get a job? Why don't I strap on my job helmet and squeeze down into a job cannon and fire off into Jobland, where jobs grow on jobbies?
So anyway, if you're unemployed, politically disenfranchised, or if you have a new puppy like I do, then you and me, we are the same. Look at us. Same, but different. Don't forget to like and subscribe. It hopefully gets better than this. But yeah, in light of all that good stuff, I've also decided to stream every now and again, since streaming is a lot easier than editing videos. So do check FOCKS on Twitch if you have a sec. I'll drop a link in the description. But yeah, where were we? So overall, the Battlefield 6 open beta test has been very successful. I really enjoyed playing it, and I think most of you did too. I would say, with the exception of the hackers who are just in it to make a good thing bad for everyone. Like, who comes up with a hack like within 5 hours of the game coming out? Like, what kind of fucking asshole do you have to be? But yeah, it looks like EA has learned their lesson from the disaster that was the Battlefield 2042 release, which was really buggy, unbalanced. The game felt shitty and hollow, and you could do things that you shouldn't be able to. It does seem like this time they put something decent together, so let's dive in and talk about what makes this a good beta. First off, the process to even get the game to work is worth talking about. I think they made this really difficult on purpose to limit the number of people that played, considering that 500,000 people figured out how to play. Tells you that, you know, on release, this game is going to get a lot of people buying it. But anyway, I got lucky and received a key from a friend for the early access, but a lot of other people, they needed to get their keys from Twitch. Eventually they made it so that you didn't need to do that anymore, so thanks for the waste of time. The game itself though is on Steam and the Epic Game Store, which is actually really nice and convenient, and the download is about 30 gigs. Now I'm really glad they're not forcing you to use the Origin launcher, because that app was really bad and heavy, and I don't know, Steam works really well for me, and I really resent anyone who makes me leave that. Then I booted the game and it failed to launch. And turns out I had secure boot disabled in my BIOS. So if this happens to you, it's something you fix in your BIOS settings, and it can be pretty annoying. Then after that, I needed to update my NVIDIA drivers, which was also annoying. And to top it all off, this game runs extremely hot. So if your PC is aging or unwell, you should be aware that this game might actually just be the thing that cooks it for good. Luckily though for me, my computer is okay. The game did launch, and overall it runs like a charm on max settings. So yeah, apart from the temps, I had very few bugs, and the game really only crashed once, and apart from like a couple of little visual glitches here and there, it actually ran really smooth. The main menu is actually really decent. It's responsive, it's not too deep, and it's easy to use. The weapons modification page and the loadout screen is actually like very decent. You can jump into a firing range right away without loading, so you can test your guns like and modify them real quick. It's actually really cool. The game mode selection screen and lobby was also cool. Like, you see your whole squad together while you're waiting for the game to boot. And unlike older Battlefields or Call of Duties, where you have a bunch of like unrelated shit and other games in the same launcher and exhausting menus and currencies and all sorts of things, like this felt really clean and solid. So I'm really happy with that. In terms of pace, it does feel like an average between Call of Duty and Battlefield, so it's a lot faster than older Battlefield games, and the maps are also smaller than normal, so it forces like more action more often, and that's something I associate with Call of Duty and not with Battlefield, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. Like, I'm an older gentleman, but I didn't mind the pace of that. Like, at first, okay, yeah, when you're getting dunked on by a power sliding guy who's jumping around, sure, it does feel kind of like insulting to your, you know, gaming credentials, but then eventually you get used to that, and it's like, it's not a big deal. It does play well, and it's not ridiculously fast paced like a Call of Duty match. It's just a little faster than normal. Vehicle combat is weird and kind of sloshy boat-like at first, but once you get used to it, it's actually really fun. I did really like using the machine gun on a tank. Got a lot of kills with that. It's actually, for me, better than driving the tank. You can just like focus on MGing people. And there's also aircraft, but I haven't really figured out controls that work for me. I drove a helicopter once and immediately like backed up into a mountain and died, so let's let other people deal with that. There were jets as well. There's like planes, and I'm sure they'll only expand on that. And so far there are 3 maps. There are 2 urban warfare ones and another kind of mountainous one. I like them all, but I do hope that they make some maps bigger, because once you're pinned down at your spawn, it's really difficult to break out. The HQ spawns are a little too accessible by the enemy, and that can lead to some spawn camping if your teammates are noobs. So it also makes like flying a little bit difficult, because there's AA everywhere. So not only do you have a small map with a ton of anti-aircraft, you don't have a lot of time to use your helicopter because you're going to be shot down. I know they want to keep you in the action all the time, but I love Arma, Hell Let Loose, and Squad, so I think bigger maps make for more cooperation between teammates, and overall it creates a more immersive experience, like you're really in that space. One thing that did stand out to me as top-notch was the building destruction mechanics. It's really immersive to watch the face of a building come right down after a few rocket rounds. What's less fun is being inside of it when that happens. In terms of classes, you have 4, Assault, Engineer, Support, and Sniper. Each class has unique perks and weapons. Some of these perks are more fun than others, like the Assault perk is some kind of amphetamine which makes you hear the enemies better. But other perks are not that exciting, but they do each serve a purpose related to the class. Anyway, as you play, you do unlock attachments and better guns over time, so I like how different attachments change your weapons behaviors, and I also like that you can get new weapons eventually. I did prefer Assault because of the Noob Tube explosive grenade launcher, and the Engineer class because of the basically unlimited RPGs. By the way, no one should have that many RPGs. They should definitely balance that out. Anywho, I'm gonna keep this one brief since it's only a beta test. I would give this game a 9 out of 10. And I would recommend you jump on it for this coming weekend if you can, especially since it's free. I played over 17 hours in 3 days, and I really enjoyed every minute of it. But lastly, I would be remiss if I didn't bring up the price point though. At $69.99, this game is way too expensive. In terms of value, you don't have like the justification for that. Also, I'm sure that they're gonna release DLCs and find other grubby little ways to milk their player base for cash, so like, why start at $69.99? If you're going to buy a game at $69.99 and continue buying the DLCs, like when does that end? How much money should a game cost? Like, if you're gonna do a bunch of DLCs, then release the base game for free. Do what Counter-Strike did, do what Fortnite did. I would rather buy like Rust skins, you know. I've been playing Rust for like almost 6 years now, and that game keeps changing, quality of life stuff keeps being added, skins are awesome, like, and it's under $50. Like, community is more active than ever, like, it doesn't have to be this greedy fucking cash grab, but it's an EA thing. You know, they've been doing this since the beginning. Yeah, it's just not for me. So for this reason, I will not be buying the game at launch, or perhaps ever. I also urge you not to buy any games for more than 30 bucks. Wait for a sale or buy something else from someone who actually respects you, unlike EA. Anyway, that's enough of that, comrades. Thanks for stopping by. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one.